Live in a few seconds here, and give me time to catch up. All right, welcome back to the channel. My name is David, and today we're going to be looking at 5 different advanced tips and tricks that if you're using Kajabi, you can implement on your website or tool or membership site, whatever you're using Kajabi for. These are things I've discovered along the way. If you have been a Kajabi user for a while, you might already know a couple of these. If you're brand new Kajabi, these will save you some time and headaches and will make your website better in the long run if you apply these. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you all 5 of them. They're pretty simple to use and implement, and that's why I figured I'd show you, in a nice live video, just walk you through them real quick. And yeah, you can have these done pretty easily on your own website. All right, give me 1 second. Let me make sure the video is doing what I need it to do. Cool. All right, so we are going to go ahead and jump over to my screen, and now you can see, hopefully you can see, inside of Kajabi. So I'm going to go ahead and start on the home page so you don't get confused where we are. So we are on the home page of Kajabi right now. When you log in into your account, this is the first thing you're going to see. Now we're going to go to the left-hand side down here and the settings. So the first thing I want to show you is something called Lightning Loader. And what Lightning Loader is going to do is basically speed up your website, make it faster for your users to access it, and ultimately make you rank better on Google, because how quickly your website loads is an element that SEO uses when determining how to rank your website. So it's literally a click of the button. We just got to find where that button is. So we're going to go over to settings, and then once we're in settings, we're going to scroll down to account settings right here. And they made it very easy to find once you get this far and you know what you're looking for. So there is right at the very bottom, Lightning Loader. So once you click that, you can see that on the left side, they give you a little bit of details about what it does. Obviously, you can click to learn more to get the full details. And then right here, you can click to turn on. By default, it's turned off. And so that's why I wanted to make this the first one that I show you, because literally just going in, taking 30 seconds to find the button and click it on will improve your website's usability and ranking. So that is number 1. Number 2, we are going to jump over to pages. So I think I already have it up. Yeah. So in case you're unsure how to get to the pages, I'm going to go ahead and show you. You click on website, and then underneath website on the left-hand side, we're going down to pages, and that brings you to where all of your pages will be built. If you don't have any yet, then this might be blank. So one thing I find that I do often, maybe not very often, but at least a few times every couple months, is I build a new page related to a project, a product, something like that, and I find that a lot of the elements I'm using are already present on another page. So Kajabi makes it easy for you to literally just copy and paste a page, one you've already built, into a new one. So if you are building a new sales page or updating something that has a lot of text or a lot of elements to it, you don't have to start from scratch. Now different systems call this different things, but basically all you do is you find the page you want to duplicate. So I'm going to do the archive one. You click the 3 buttons, and then underneath there you have the clone option. And so what clone does is it literally copies the entire page, everything that's on it, all the elements, and duplicates it so you have a direct copy. And then the only difference is that it adds a number 1 to the end of the name, or number 2, so on and so forth, depending on how many clones you have. So if you are building multiple pages that have similar elements, this is definitely a tool you want to be aware of instead of going in and redoing things over and over again. So again, you find the page you want to copy, you go over to the 3 dots on the right hand side, click clone, and that will duplicate everything for you. So that was number 2. Moving on to number 3, the third tip I want to show you. Trying to think how to explain this. Okay, so when you are launching something, let me show you my home page right now. So right now my home page is like a normal-ish home page. I have a logo and a navigation bar. I have an opt-in at the top. And as you go through, you can kind of see you have options and so on and so forth. So let me go back to my pages and show you what my homepage was at the beginning of this year. So at the beginning of this year, when I was still choosing how I wanted to shift my branding, shift my voice, change things around on my website, this was my homepage. So whether you went to, if you went to ramosauthor.com January, February, you would have seen this. And now if you go to ramosauthor.com, the first thing you see is this. So I want to show you how you can make any page that you build, whether it's a landing page like this or one of the other sales pages or whatever else you might have, how can you make that your home page so it's the first thing people see as soon as they go to your URL, whatever, that way they don't have to put in like your URL / blank blank blank. They can just go to your main website and they'll see whatever page you've chosen as the first thing. So how do you do that? You go to, I wrote myself notes. I wouldn't forget how I did it because sometimes you forget. Okay, so we're going back. I'm gonna start at the beginning just so I can show you how to get to it from the beginning. You're in the Kajabi homepage right here. We're gonna go down to settings again. And then once we're in settings, we're gonna go to site details. So that's the very first option in the upper left-hand corner. We click site details, and next we're going to see a bunch of random options. I guess you're gonna see my phone number right there. And down, you can see that there's a homepage option. Now, once you're here, that's where you have the option to change things. So theme index means like your default website homepage is what's gonna show. But if you wanna change this, you click down and you can see there's other options such as a landing page, your library, so on and so forth. So if you click landing page, that gives you access to every other page you've built on your pages page. So everything here that I've made, I can choose that to be my new homepage here. And that way, that'll be the very first thing people see when they come to my website. So that's a really useful one, especially if you're like in between launches or whatever. That's a useful tool to kind of direct people to where you want them to go very easily. All right, number 4. This one is just to help you save time. I find that when people are getting logos made for their website, it can be a little bit more of a headache than it needs to be, just because sizing matters a lot, especially since most people access our websites from mobile devices. So when you have a very small logo or a very big logo, and you might get it to look just right on a desktop page, it might look completely wrong on a mobile device or a tablet. And so understanding the differences, how that looks on different pages and so on is very important, and having the ability to control what your logo looks like is also very important. So we're gonna go ahead and jump into a page to show you how you can control that on Kajabi. So again, we're in the pages section. If you see on the left-hand side, under website, pages, we're gonna use the archive one as our example. So I'm gonna go ahead and click customize, so I can edit what we're doing in here. And now this is a very simple page I created to house all of the blogs and articles and stuff, normal archive page. So what you can see at the top is I have my normal navigation bar, hero, and so on. So what we're gonna do is go over to header. Now again, this is gonna work on any page on your website. You can choose whether or not to show a header on any page on your website, but for most of them, for the ease of navigation, I keep the header consistent. So in the header, you're gonna see that that's where your logo shows up. And underneath that, so logo type, logo text. So if I haven't shown you this before, this is in case your logo doesn't load. Is there backup text to show that? Or if you're just keeping that as a placeholder until you get your logo made, you can do that. Underneath the logo image, you see custom logo height. So if this is blank, it's going to default to whatever your logo PNG or whatever file type size it is. But the nice thing is that you can control it, and that way you can control what it looks like on regardless of the platform. So, if you do, let's do 50 just to show you. It's a little bit bigger. If we do 200, you can see that thing blows up a lot. For most of the logos I've found, the sweet spot seems to be between 80 and 100. That's going to make your logo very visible. It's going to make it proportionate to the other things in your navigation bar, and it's going to look good on mobile. So again, in other videos I've talked about this. In the very, very bottom right-hand corner, there's this option that gives you the view of how Kajabi will look on different devices. So right now we're looking at desktop. If I switch over to tablet H, that's tablet horizontal. You can see everything stays proportionate. Tablet V is vertical. Again, you can see what it can look like on a normal standard tablet, iPad, Kindle, so on. And finally, mobile. So what does this look like on a mobile device? My logo stands out, but you got to think this is probably a 5-inch screen or whatever. And I've tested it on my own phone. Like, it looks really good. And again, like, your menu is right there. You can scroll down, and again, you can edit any of these things so that it looks the way you want it to, regardless of what device it's on. So again, that's a little tip just to help you make sure that things look the way you want it to look. So that custom logo height right there on the left, again, 80 to 100 seem to be the sweet spot for whatever kind of logo you're uploading on your website. And then the very last one, the fifth button, or the fifth trick that I want to show you is details. Now, when you are creating a page, there's obviously the design element. That's what we're looking at. The content of the page, the design of the page, and so on. But then there's also the back end of the page, such as what is the URL? What are the SEO functions that operate that page? Like, where do you edit the behind the scenes details for whatever you're creating? And that is conveniently located at the very bottom. So if you look at my screen where my mouse is, there's a details button. And so if you click details, you're going to see a new page come up. Nope, don't need to save that. And this is where you can edit some of the more back-end stuff about your page. Now, again, let me go back to pages so you can see the difference. You see that there's sections and then settings. And so sections are, again, the content and the design of your page. But then settings let you go into more design elements. So you can see there's the favicon, typography, color scheme. These are, all the other elements that you can design around your page, and a lot of them will carry over from the different pages and, marketing colors that you've chosen. If you want me to show you in the future, like, there's a way to preset the colors that load up, so that way you're not choosing new colors every single time you create a page. But again, you're not all the section and the settings is pretty much limited to the design and content of the page. For details, that's where you're going to find additional information. So again, landing page details, that's where you title the page, you name it. That's where you can edit the URL. So again, that's very important. You don't want to leave it blank or some default word. You want to make sure that it leads to where you want it to lead. The visibility. So again, if you're working on a page and it's not ready to be published, this is where you set that visibility. And then again, the SEO and sharing options. So you'll see most of the time my title page, the way people navigate to it is going to be shorter than my page title, which is going to have more details for Google to pull from so that I can help people find what they're looking for on my website. Now, I haven't gone through and filled in the description or the image because I just created the archive page a little while ago, and honestly I forgot to do that part. But yeah, so the details page is where you're going to get more information to edit what you've created. So again, let me just go back to the home page. Those are 5 little tips and tricks. Lightning Loader, how to clone a page, how to set any page you want to the home page, like changing the default, changing your custom logo height so that it looks good on whatever device you're using, and then finally the details button and how to edit the back-end info for any page. So those are some tips that I found helpful. As I've been building on Kajabi for the last 2 years, there were things I just didn't know how to do at the very beginning. And so hopefully some of that will help you. I want to remind you, in case you're not using Kajabi yet, I have a 28-day trial for you to click the link below and give it a go. On their website, they have a 14-day one. If you use my link, you get twice that much, so you can see if it's more of what you need. And so thank you again for watching this video. I hope you found it helpful. I'm going to be doing a video on Friday. I think I'm going to skip the Wednesday one just because I'm working on lots of projects and trying to be more concise, more concentrated. So on Friday I'll be talking about the fiction project I'm working on and the progress I've made so far. So again, if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and do that. Thank you again for watching, and I'll talk to you next time.